Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us.
It's great to be here.
Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is really relevant to a lot of our listeners, especially our Gen Z listeners out there.
Yeah.
And that is kind of bouncing back after a breakup.
Oh, yeah.
And in particular, we're going to kind of focus on how self-forgiveness can be a superpower
Yeah.
in that whole process.
I think it's so interesting how Gen Z is kind of approaching heartbreak differently,
Yeah,
than previous generations.
totally.
There's this real focus on self-growth and understanding rather than just dwelling on blame or, getting stuck in the past.
It's so true. And it really feels like there's this shift happening.
Yeah.
Where it's less about pointing fingers.
Right.
And more about okay, this hurts, but what can I learn from it?
Exactly. And that's where I think self-forgiveness is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's not about saying what happened was okay.
Right.
It's more about accepting that we're all human. We all make mistakes, especially in relationships.
Totally.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. It's like giving yourself permission to be imperfect.
Right.
And to say okay, I didn't have all the answers at the time.
Even have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
You were doing the best you could
with
the information that you had at that moment.
Totally. It's so easy to get caught up in that spiral of what ifs and shoulda, coulda, woulds.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't really help us move forward.
No, it keeps you stuck.
Right. And moving forward is kind of the key here.
It is.
And understanding that healing takes time.
Yeah.
And it's not always a straight line.
Not at all.
There's going to be good days and bad days.
Absolutely.
And it's so easy to compare our healing journey to other people's highlight reels.
Oh, constantly, especially with social media.
But that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. You're just going to end up feeling worse.
Yeah.
You have to remember that everybody processes things differently. There's no right or wrong way to feel.
Yeah.
And there's definitely no timeline for healing.
So how can we actually start being kinder to ourselves during this process?
Well, I think self-care is a really great place to start.
Okay.
I know it's become a bit of a buzzword.
Totally.
But it's really crucial when you're dealing with emotional stress.
Yeah.
So think about the small things that bring you comfort. Like a long bath, listening to your favorite playlist.
Yeah.
Spending time with people who lift you up.
It's like giving yourself permission to just be.
Yeah.
And to do things that genuinely make you feel good.
Exactly. And recognizing that you deserve that care and compassion from yourself.
This is where I think things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because I've heard so much about how Gen Z is so good at channeling post-breakup energy into creative outlets or personal growth.
I love that.
It's like they're taking that pain and turning it into something positive and powerful.
You see it all the time, right? People starting blogs, or they dive into a new hobby, or they even use their experience to help other people who are going through something similar.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So break that down for me a little bit.
Right.
What does it actually mean to reclaim your story?
It's recognizing that you have the power
to
choose how you view this experience. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim, you choose to see yourself as someone who's learning and growing.
Okay.
You're taking control of the narrative, and you're deciding that this heartbreak, however painful it was, it's ultimately going to make you stronger and wiser.
That is such a powerful shift in perspective.
It is.
It's like, this happened, it sucked,
but
I'm not going to let it define me.
Right.
I'm going to use it to become
exactly
an even better version of myself.
It ties into the idea of finding the lesson, not the blame.
So instead of focusing on who messed up or what went wrong, we're looking for the takeaways, the wisdom that's hidden within the experience.
Precisely. Recognizing that even though the relationship ended, it still served a purpose.
Right.
In your life, it taught you something.
Yeah.
And now you can carry that knowledge forward into your future relationships.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
But there's still this one big question that I keep coming back to.
What's that?
What about forgiving ourselves?
That's a good one.
Where does that fit into all of this?
Well, there's no rush.
Okay.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And it unfolds at its own pace. The fact that you're even thinking about it, that you're on this journey of self-reflection and growth is already a huge step in the right direction.
So just the fact that we're trying, that we're actively seeking ways to learn and move forward is a form of self-forgiveness.
Absolutely. It shows that you're willing to learn from your mistakes. and to move forward with compassion for yourself.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay.
Yeah. And remember, it's totally normal
Yeah.
to feel like a whole whirlwind of emotion.
Oh, yeah.
During this process.
You're not alone if you're like sad 1 minute, angry the next.
Exactly.
And then maybe even a little relieved.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
It is.
For sure.
The key is to allow yourself to feel all those emotions.
Okay.
Without judgment.
Yeah.
Don't try to bottle them up or pretend they're not there.
Right.
Just let yourself experience them fully and then let them go.
So what are some things that people can actually do to kind of help themselves move through those emotions?
Well, journaling can be really helpful.
Okay.
It's like having a conversation with yourself on paper.
Yeah.
You know, where you can process your thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment.
I've heard that that's super helpful, especially for people who aren't quite ready to talk about it out loud. It's a way to get those emotions out of your head.
Yeah.
And into like a safe space.
Absolutely. And sometimes just the act of writing things down can help you gain clarity and perspective.
Another thing that comes to mind is like connecting with other people.
Yes.
Who get it.
Absolutely.
Like finding your tribe of people who've been through something similar.
Support systems are essential, whether it's friends, family, or even a therapist. Having people you can talk to and who can just listen without judgment.
Right. It's that sense of knowing you're not alone.
Exactly.
That other people have gone through this and come out the other side.
Yeah. And sometimes just having someone to vent to or cry with can be incredibly therapeutic.
Okay. So we've talked about self-care, finding the lesson.
Yeah.
Forgiving ourselves.
Right.
But what about turning this whole experience into something positive?
Okay.
How can we actually use this heartbreak?
That's where things get really exciting. This is your chance to explore new interests. Dive into hobbies you've always wanted to try.
Yeah.
You know, really discover hidden talents.
Totally.
You might not even know you had.
It's like this blank slate.
It
is.
This
opportunity to redefine yourself.
Yes.
And create a life that truly lights you up.
Like maybe you've always wanted to learn to play guitar or take a pottery class or join a hiking group.
Right.
This is your chance to step outside of your comfort zone.
Totally.
And just see what you're capable of.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover a passion you never knew existed.
Exactly.
It's also a perfect time to focus on personal development.
Yes.
Maybe this experience highlighted some areas where you want to grow, like learning to set healthier boundaries.
Yeah.
Or becoming more assertive.
Absolutely.
In communicating your needs.
It's like using this experience as a catalyst for becoming the best version of yourself.
This is so inspiring.
Yeah.
Instead of letting heartbreak break us, we can use it as fuel.
You got it.
For like personal growth and transformation.
It's about taking control of your life and shaping it in a way that aligns with your values and goals.
So to our listeners out there who are navigating the ups and downs of heartbreak, remember, you are not alone.
You are not alone.
This is a journey.
It is.
And there will be bumps along the way.
Absolutely.
But you have the strength and resilience to move through this and come out stronger.
I believe that.
On the other side.
This is an opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
Self-discovery and transformation. And remember, forgiveness. Especially self-forgiveness is a key ingredient in this journey.
It's about letting go of the past.
Yes.
Embracing the present. And stepping into a future filled with possibilities.
Absolutely.
This is just the beginning of a new chapter.
Yeah.
Embrace the possibilities.
Keep believing.
And keep believing.
In the power of self-forgiveness and growth.
I love that. Yeah. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive on turning heartbreak into growth, I want to leave you with a thought that's really helped me in the past.
Ooh. I'm intrigued.
Imagine you could like hop in a time machine.
Okay.
And go back to your past self right before the breakup.
Okay.
Knowing everything you know now.
Wow.
What advice would you give?
That's heavy.
What wisdom would you share?
It's almost like you're taking all of those lessons and you're integrating them into this message.
Totally. It really makes you realize how much you've grown.
Yeah.
How much stronger and wiser you are now.
Absolutely.
And it reinforces that even heartbreak can serve a purpose.
It does.
Even if it doesn't feel like it at the time.
Even if it doesn't feel like at the time.
It can be like this catalyst for some serious personal transformation.
I love that.
So as you move forward, remember this.
Okay.
You are not defined by your past relationships. You are this constantly evolving and ever-growing person.
Yes.
with the power to create a future filled with love and joy and fulfillment.
I love that.
This is just the beginning
Yeah.
of a new chapter, a chance to write your own story.
Write your own story. I love that.
So embrace the possibilities.
Yes.
And keep believing in the incredible power of self-forgiveness and growth.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was great to be here.
We'll catch you on the next one.